Hi, welcome to this video looking at the GCSE 9 to 1, the equation of a line, okay, from the Maths Genie website. We're looking at grade 4-5, okay, so it's appropriate for higher and foundation tier. Okay, as ever guys, feel free to obviously pause the video, try the questions yourselves, and then press play when you're ready. We're going to start with question number 1, okay, part A. The line y equals 3x plus 5 crosses the y-axis at P. What is the value of y at P? So the y-axis is when x is equal to 0. Okay, when x equals 0, I get a value for y. Because I can just substitute in x equals 0 to work out what y is. Y is equal to 5, okay? Because 3 lots of 0, 3 times 0 is 0, and then, and then plus the 5. We get 5 there, okay? This is part B. Write down the equation of another line which is parallel to this. So parallel means it has the same gradient, so the same coefficient of x. So y is equal to 3x plus 2, guys. Okay, is another one. Okay, this is question number 2, guys. A line passes through the point 0, 4. The gradient of the line is 2. Write down the equation of the line. So it's in the form y equals mx plus c. So it's y is equal to 2x plus 4. Okay, nice and easy there, okay? It's in the form y equals mx plus c, where m is your gradient and c is your y-intercept, where it crosses on the y-axis. A line passes through the point 0 minus 5. The gradient of the line is 3. Write down the equation of the line. Y is equal to 3x subtract 5. Okay. This is question number 4, guys. A straight line has the equation y is equal to 5, take away 3x. Part A, write down the gradient. The number in front of the x is negative 3. So the gradient m is equal to minus 3. Okay, part B, write down the coordinates of the point where it crosses the y-axis. That's when x is equal to 0. When x is 0, y is equal to 5, guys. Okay. Sorry about my handwriting, guys, in this video. Okay, it seems that it's been quite laggy today. Okay, it should be a 0 there. There we go. Okay, this is question number 5a. A straight line has the equation y equals 3x minus 2. Part A, write down the gradient. The gradient is going to be 3. The coordinates of the y-intercept is 0, negative 2. Okay. Where anything crosses the y-axis, that's when x is equal to 0. Okay. You sub in x equals 0 and you get y is equal to negative 2. Okay, for that one. This is question number 6. A straight line has the equation y is equal to 2 minus x. Part A, write down the gradient of the line. So it's going to be negative 1. Okay, so it catches you out there. It's a number in front of the x. It's a negative 1. Okay. There. Part B, write down the coordinates of where the point crosses the y-axis. X is 0, y is equal to 2. So it's 0, 2, guys. Okay, this is question number 7. A straight line has the equation y is equal to 4x plus 3. Write down the gradient of the line. The gradient of the line is going to be equal to 4. The coordinates where it crosses the y-axis is going to be 0, 3. Okay, remember the y-axis is the line x equals 0. Okay, remember that it's always in the form y is equal to mx plus c, where m is your gradient. Okay, so how steep the line is, and c is the y-intercept. Okay. If m has a positive gradient, it's in this direction. If m has a negative gradient, it's in this direction. Okay, it's going down. Okay, if m is less than 0, that's if m is greater than 0. Okay. Okay, this is question number 8, guys. It says find the equation of line L. So first of all, we have to work out the gradient, okay? So the gradient is the change in y over the change in x. So I'm going to just pick 2 random points, okay, and look at our gradient, okay? So I'm going to pick that point and I'm going to pick this point, okay? And if I just draw like a little triangle here, okay, this is my x direction and this is my y direction. Now, because obviously it's sloping this way, we know that we are going to have a negative gradient. So it's gone down by 2 and across by 1. Okay, so the gradient is the rise over run. Okay, it's the change in y over the change in x. Negative 2 divided by 1 is negative 2. Okay, that's my gradient. Okay. The next part is to recognize and say, okay, well, I need to work out the plus c here. The plus c is where it crosses on the y-axis. It crosses the y-axis at 5, so the coordinates of that are 0, 5. Okay. So then we know that our final answer is going to be y is equal to minus 2x plus 5. Okay. It's a negative gradient because it's sloping in this direction, okay, and it goes through positive 5, which is correct, okay, that's the y-intercept, okay. The plus c is where it crosses on the y-axis, okay, or y-axis. Okay, this is question number 9, guys. A straight line has the equation 2y minus 10x equals 8. Part A, work out the gradient of the line while rearranging it in the form y equals mx plus c. So adding 10x to both sides, okay, and then dividing it by 2, okay. Then we can start to simplify this here. Okay, the equation of the line here is y is equal to 4 plus 5x, okay? 8 divided by 2 is 4, 10x divided by 2 is 5x, okay? So the gradient is the coefficient of x, m is equal to 5, okay? The gradient is equal to 5. The number in front of the x. Part B, write down the equation of a line parallel to this line. Parallel means the same gradient, so it can be y is equal to 5x, take away 3, let's say, okay, as a random example, okay? So I'm just stressing the fact, guys, that parallel lines, they have the same gradient. So make sure that you are happy with that, guys. Okay. Next question, a straight line has the equation 4y subtract 5x is equal to 2. Part A, work out the gradient of this line. Well, if I add 5x to both sides and then divide by 4, okay, this one's going to give us like a fraction 1, okay, which is a bit more tricky, but it's fine. It's still the same idea. So everything divided by 4, okay. So the gradient of x is 5/4, okay, or 5/4, okay. That's the coefficient of x, okay. Part B, write down an equation that is parallel to this line. Well, y is equal to 5/4 x. Okay, take away 1, let's say. Okay, so just to obviously reiterate that, guys, parallel means it has the same gradient. Okay, but obviously a different y, a different y-intercept, okay? This is question number 11. The line with the equation x plus 2y has been drawn on the grid. Part A, rearrange the equation x plus 2y equals 6 to make y the subject. Okay, so if I take away x on both sides, I get 2y is equal to 6 minus x. So taking x away on both sides, dividing it by 2, okay, I get y is equal to 6 minus x over 2, okay. And I can write that in like a different form, but I want to try and leave it like that, to make it a bit more easier when we look at the later parts, okay? But of course, you are welcome to write it as y is equal to 3 minus x over 2, or 3 minus a half x. Doesn't really matter actually, but the idea is the same, okay? Because remember that I've got an invisible 1 here, okay? That's where I get the half from, okay? Part B, write down the gradient of the line with the equation x plus 2y equals 6. Well, the gradient is the coefficient of x. So looking at our top equation, we get minus a half, okay? It's the coefficient of x, okay? This is part C, guys. Write down the equation of the line which is parallel to the line x plus 2y equals 6 and passes through the point with coordinates 0, 7. Okay, so it's going to be y is equal to negative a half x, okay, and then it's going to be plus 7, okay, because it goes through the point 0, 7, okay, so the y-intercept is going to be 7. Okay, that's how to work out that answer there. This is question number 12, guys. Find the equation of a line that passes through A and B. So again, work out the gradient, go across 2, and then I go up 4. So it's going up 4 and across 2. So the gradient is the change in y over the change in x, or rise over run. That's my rise and that's my run. 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2, guys. Okay, so the gradient is equal to 2 and it passes through the point 3 on the y-axis. So the answer is y is equal to 2x plus 3. Okay, because it crosses the y-axis at positive 3. Okay, remember that your plus c from y equals mx plus c is where it intercepts or crosses on the y-axis or y-axis. Now, sometimes it might not give you that, and it might give like a set of coordinates. Okay, to work out the plus c, once you've worked out your gradient, you would then substitute in your x and y coordinates to work out the value of c. Okay, but all these ones we were given the y-intercept, but if we were not given that, then we would obviously substitute in one set of coordinates to work out what the plus c was. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, if you're just given a line with just 2 points, okay, for that. Right, guys, that's the end of today's revision video on gradients and equations of straight lines. Okay, this is appropriate for grade 4. Okay, level maths, and even grade 5, okay, for GCSE, foundation and higher tier for the crossover topics. Okay, if you did find this useful, please hit that like button, please subscribe to my channel if you're new, okay, and lastly, please click that bell icon, okay, so you don't miss out on further and future videos, okay. And the last point to mention on this topic, okay, if you're doing higher and you're looking at perpendicular gradients, remember that perpendicular gradients is the negative reciprocal of one another, okay, that your two gradients must multiply to give me negative 1, okay, if you're looking at perpendicular gradients, but I've got a separate video on that, okay, but it's the negative reciprocal, okay, if you're looking at perpendicular lines and perpendicular gradients, okay. So for example, if the gradient is 2, the perpendicular gradient would be minus a half, okay. If the perpendicular gradient was, let's say, minus a third, the normal gradient would be equal to 3, okay. It's the negative reciprocal of that number or that fraction, okay. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you for the next one. Okay, bye for now.